Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh, that shit got heavy. YouTube, what is up? We are back with another upper body day today. We're gonna go to Lifetime. It's 9 p.m. right now. We just finished up softball. Just kind of a trashy game of softball. Umpiring was all over the place. It's just such a low key, like it's like the definition of beer level softball, which just doesn't wake me up in the morning. Doesn't get the sacrifices going in the morning. So we're gonna go get a little ripper to make up for that. Hit a little upper body day today. Probably some shoulder press, some vertical pressing today, some vertical pulling, and then rip a bunch of machines and get a good little pump in today. Finished up with a podcast with Hayden Mitchell. Just a fucking monster of a dude. He's just so cool. He was helping his dad recover from a stroke, and just the way that he views movement and the way that he views the world is just really inspiring to me. He's got a lot of really awesome energy and woo woo for sure. But I love woo woo. I think more of us need to be more woo woo. But his ability to connect and have some energy on social media is pretty fun to watch and inspiring. So look forward to that podcast coming out. I'm not sure which video will honestly be released more. I forgot to post today's video like an idiot. Forgot to post the Snatch videos today, so we're the day behind on the on the YouTube for no reason other than I just forgot to click go until 8 p.m. I just edited and everything and just had it sitting in the queue. But so we'll post that tomorrow. Then we'll post day 2 of the leg day, which is some of the sprints. And then we'll post this and then the Hayden Mitchell podcast somewhere in between. So Hayden Mitchell podcast will probably be out a day before this, but you get the gist of it. Let's go rip some upper body. Let's go. Boom. So today is just going to be a little bit quicker. I'm going to rip some upper body. I got like an hour before the sauna closes. Got to rip that before we go. And kind of just burnt out from the, it's like 9:19 and 15 seconds in right now. So we're going to go snatch grip behind the head, 3 rep max, build up there, snatch grip overhead press, I should say. And let's rip it. Let's go. So I'm gonna do these, and then we're for sure gonna hit some vertical pull, either a pull-up or a cool lat pull-down variation. I like hitting the machine when I'm here, so I might get aggressive with that lat pull-down variation, rip some of those, and then find a couple machines for the arms, chest, everything like that, and get a sweet little pump in today. The diet's been pretty dialed right now, and feeling and looking pretty money right now, so I've been pretty pumped about that. Let's keep that rolling. Here we go. I think the mobility aspect of the shoulders is going to gas out way before anything here. Obviously, there's strength there too. But so once I max out here, I might just turn it into a 3 rep max strict press, just get it full or a little bit better strength stimulus in for the day, for that lockout volume, just get that elbow. Working on that lockout. It feels better when I'm working on that shoulder press than when I'm kind of skipping those days. So let's get it. Those are tough. Shoulders are stiff. Let's go. My worst coaching fail of the week was our vertical press variation I tried with the athletes this week. Absolutely disgusting. Don't tell them it was disgusting because they had a shit attitude the entire day. And so when they're approaching it, like they just had a shit attitude going in, and then they give shit effort during the lift itself. So I wasn't giving them the benefit of the doubt to show them that the lift was actually shitty. And sometimes it's like a lot of times I'm pretty quick to switch things up when they're not working. But if the athletes aren't handling it, I like to give them like shit variations of games or shit variations of the lift that just don't make much sense. Just to try to push that mental fortitude a little bit, piss them off a little bit, see how they handle that, especially in the game situation. A lot of times I'll just pick a purposely shitty game, or if I start to realize that the game just is really hard to win. Like the game itself sucks, and I know it sucks. Can see it suck. I see the frustration build up that they're unable to like play the game in the way of like it's really hard to score. Like that we've played games where it's like a 1-0 game after 30 minutes of play, and I kind of like that. I like that frustration piece. See how the athletes kind of handle that. But anyways, get into the single arm variation we tried. We tried single arm specialty bar, so we're using the big ass cambered bar, and the athletes aren't strong enough to press it by themselves, or if they are, they can get a couple reps, and I wanted them to be able to like push that weight just a little bit more, so we did band assisted. Terrible idea. The band, one, didn't go low enough to help at all. My CT 6 in the morning brain didn't really think of that when we were programming those. terrible idea there. So we double looped the band, and then the band was just kind of fucking all over the place. So it was a terrible upper body stimulus. But again, had them struggle through it, had them rip it, didn't tell them that it was a terrible stimulus, and got them a little bit frustrated there. But it was indeed a horrible lift, and 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Last set here with this, and then we'll get to, speaking of terrible variations, this isn't a terrible one, but I'm terrible at it. So last set here, and then we'll get to regular shoulder presses. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's get to some regular shoulder presses. Let's do it. Wait. And I think, again, this is another cool example of how do you blend the variety with the stimulus, right? So I think a lot of times in your warm-up, you can hit the variety and build up to a decent tolerance there, right? That was like a 3-rep max for my behind the back, but it's not a total, like, full body stimulus that I want. It's not the highest level of pushing stimulus, and not every day you need to be able to do. Sometimes the variety allows you to be like deloaded just a little bit while still building up some range of motion in some of the new kind of positions as you're going. But then you can build up into that like real stimulus. So a lot of times with the squats, we'll go up and try to build up tolerance in a bunch of different squat positions. So we'll do like 3 sets of 8, build up to an 8-rep max squat variation, and we're very making every squat different. Go knees in, maybe wide squat, narrow squat, picking a bunch of different variations. And as you have to add weight every single set, right? So as you add weight, your variety of squats is going to go down until you eventually just get to a regular squat. You're going up and down, ripping there. But in that buildup, we're getting a lot of variety, a lot of range of motion, a lot of armor building in some of these awkward positions, the shoulder behind the back position. And you don't really have to change anything up, right? Like I still got my shoulders warmed up for the shoulder press as I'm going here. Build that up, opened up there, and now I'm hitting my real stimulus, right? So it's just kind of a cool way to build that variety into your program without adding a ton of time, right? You don't have to add 17 different accessory exercises to get all that range of motion in, all those different pressing actions in. Use it as your warm-up, open up there, and then as weight goes up, as stimulus goes up, variety goes down. So let's rip it. Let's go. Sorry for the stutter fest there. We had a guy just sitting right behind our camera, like staring into the camera like he was going to record me, and it was a little weird and goofy, and I got in my head. I didn't know if he's going to steal my camera or if he was trying to record himself. So a little weird. We're at a weird spot. Just got to deal with it. Got in my head though. A little stutter fest. Let's get it. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh, that shit got heavy. Whoa. All right, last set there. Let's get to some vertical pulling. That got heavy quick. We're gonna get super spicy here with this variation and just do normal lat pull downs. I haven't hit a heavy set of lat pull downs in a while. Let's hit a set of 8, 5, 3, 1, and continue to progress the ways. We hit a heavy set of 8, a heavy set of 3, a heavy set of 1, and go from there. Let's rip it. One more set of 8, that was a little light. Still too light. We're definitely gonna max this machine up before we get to probably even triples, but we'll still rip, we'll still send. Maybe just keep hitting the sets that we need to hit and maybe max it out and see what we got. Let's go. I was talking about like eating right and looking a lot better. I think that's a kind of a misnomer. There's kind of a twofold thing there. Like athletes that are looking for progress too fast, and then other people that feel like progress can't come at all, like fast enough, so they don't even feel like it's worth it. They feel like they have to make like a 6-month commitment. So many athletes, and like myself, especially if you're not in the peak of what you were, or just not a like 1%er, or you're not within that like 10% body range, you can make significant progress in 3 weeks of cleaning up your diet, working out hard, and just starting out. Like significant difference where you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, like I look fucking amazing. And I've had people lose like 20, 30 pounds in like month and a half. And obviously that progress doesn't stay. But I just think a lot of times like And I get it's pushing back on the high schoolers. I do that too because a lot of high schoolers are looking for like the next quick fix. But then you also have the other side of it where it's like they just feel like it's not worth it because like the gains can't come fast enough. So I think it's worth mentioning within 3 weeks, easy results. I mean, a lot of people notice differences, whether it's psychological or not. It doesn't matter, dude. If you feel more comfortable in your body in a week, I just think we shouldn't shit on that or like push all of that away. I think you can make a lot of progress in a couple weeks of just like cleaning up your shit, getting back on it. And then from there, the progress takes longer for sure. And then you're going to have to work and like results come a little bit slower. That's okay. But I think the progress right away, you can definitely make significant difference pretty quickly. Let's rip it. There we go. That was an 8 rep max. All right, let's go 5s. In this world, that kind of puts you on a list for me. Okay, you reach out to me about life insurance if we haven't talked. If you ever reach out to me about trying to sell me life insurance in the first place, but especially if we haven't talked since high school, you're gonna put in a do not do business with list for forever. If you message me on Instagram and we have no prior connections and you ask me to follow a random page, happened this morning. I don't follow this person. We've never had a conversation with this person. He follows and has commented on a couple of things and he said, follow my business page. I will never follow anything of yours ever in my life. If you ask to come on the podcast we have no relationship and your first ask is, hey, can I come on your podcast? I feel like I have something to share. You'll never come on the podcast. And the final one is if you walk purposely in front of the camera to try and get on the camera, this dude has been creeping and following me around the entire gym to try and get on camera. I will make sure I cut out every single second that you are in my camera and black you out to make sure you never touch a second of the video. I'm that petty. Don't try me. Dude is driving me fucking nuts. He just left. But I was like, what in the fuck? Following me around the whole gym like a weirdo, not lifting, just literally trying to walk in front of the camera. Weirdo. Oof. 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 We're just gonna finish up with 2-3 reps. Here we got 2 more stacks on it, so we'll hit this one for 3 and then the next one for 3 and then the machine's max, so we'll go on to the next thing. Let's go. Oof. 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 Let's see if we get 3 here. This might be a 1 rep ripper. Perfect, at the top of the stack. That's all you need, just 1 rep. Oof. 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 1 real rep, we'll count it. All right, let's get to some chest flies and another machine. We'll figure it out. All right, we're gonna rep 3 sets of 15 with this chest fly, 3 sets of 15 on a row machine. Kind of go back and forth from there, kind of losing a little bit of interest. It's almost 10:10 right now. So we'll kind of rush through this and then get a pump in and go sauna. Let's go. Oh, that was an aggressive weighted start. I got to go a little bit farther back too. The range of motion was goofy. Just got to pull in the elbow a little bit more. 2 more sets there. 3 more sets with the rows. Let's go. I'm gonna rip this one. Ripped this a couple weeks ago. This one I actually felt kind of like money. 3 sets of 15 here. One of the cool things I wanted to talk about this. I kind of talked about on Hayden Mitchell's podcast with him too. But in Nature, they just released a new study on a psilocybin study that it was really cool stuff about how psilocybin in a large psychedelic experience, what it does is disorganize how the brain communicates with each other. So like the neural pathways are kind of ingrained. Michael Pollan talks about this in his book, and then when he was presenting at the MAPS conference, he talked about this. Ooh, we got a message. And what he talked about is the brain kind of has this like ski slope. It's like this ski slope. So you go down the pathways over and over and over again. And what started off as fresh snow and like open ideas, you're open to things, kind of falls into these neural pathways where every time you're given stimulus A, you go down the pathway to like option A. And it kind of eliminates a lot of free choice and how it's like addicts, people that are obsessed, people that are depressed, kind of get stuck into these ways of thinking, right? And what he talked about is psychedelics lays a fresh sheet of snow down. It's like a new, fresh snow, so you can kind of pick a different way. So when option A or stimulus A is provided to you, you can veer and go a different direction than you've gone before, right? And this study was showing how the brain, when the brain is on psychedelics, it disrupts the communication in, let's say, the left side of your brain is communicating with the right side of your brain. It's always going from left to right there. It'll have the left side communicate with the left side, or the right side communicate with the right side, or the right front communicate with the left back. And what they showed is in the study how much difference one psychedelic trip is like my brain wiring compared to your wiring. So my brain pre-psychedelics and my brain post-psychedelics looks like two totally different brains. And I think it's a really fucking cool like experience of like these psychedelics are literally getting you to see the world through a totally different perspective. And it's a great reset for a lot of people that need that reset. And for athletes, it's really cool. I would never push this on an athlete or tell an athlete to do this, but for an athlete, it's really cool to just look at the sport in a different way. For me, it's a really big good for slump busters, right? I think a lot of times slump busters, you get stuck in, you're always doing the same action at the same reaction. You're kind of falling into these traps, these bad habits. And a lot of times for me, psychedelics, especially on a microdose, will kind of reset that, and I'm not falling into those bad habits as often. So it's kind of a cool study. I'd look it up. It's on Nature right now, and definitely worth the read. Let's get it. Spicy. Holy shit. All right, set number 2 here. Dropped a little bit of weight, added a little bit of range of motion. Hopefully it doesn't torque on the elbows as much. Let's rip it. Oh, so much better. Let's go. Set number 2 here. This machine is money indeed. I forgot how good this one was. Let's go. One more set of each. I think this is a cool kind of example of a time when adding more weight isn't necessarily, even though you can, isn't necessarily the best thing, right? Just trying to feel this one in the chest, right? Get a good little chest stretch, go a little chest pump. As I go heavier, and definitely can go heavier, it's gonna be more of a like forearm, kind of rips on that forearm. It brings the focus a little bit away where I wanna focus on. So a lot of times in the accessories, I'll keep it light enough to be able to feel where I wanna feel. And that helps me get a little bit of size on, add a little bit of muscle rather than just kind of rip it. A lot of times in your main lifts, it's time to just rip. But sometimes in your accessories and building the armor kind of series, you want to feel the certain positions, you want to feel certain muscles, and you can get over doing more weight by just like activating other muscles and doing other things, and kind of just weird compromise. So going lighter here, let's rip it. Last set of 15. Holy shit. All right, one more set of rows and we're out ski. All right, last set here. Let's rip. Ooh. Boom. All right, I'm feeling amply stimulated. It's time for bed. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna call it. That was good. Elbows feel a little bit torqued on. It went from BP to softball practice, BP to softball games into, it was really that chest fly machine. It was really the one that kind of cranked on a little bit too much. But feeling stimulated, feeling like I got to get a pump in. Definitely would have been a day that I would have skipped. I told myself a bunch of excuses if I didn't have the YouTube, so I appreciate you guys for that. Got a nice pump in, got some work in. Get back after it tomorrow. Keep chopping the wood. Let's go.